guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We are here at the 2023 edition of the Tokyo Auto Show, of course, in Japan. And guess what? Walking around the show floor, we had to stop and check out this vehicle here. What is it? This is your upcoming 2024 Honda Prologue. But before we get into this charged up electrified Honda, let's talk about what's going on here. Honda, being that really big ultimate brand here in Japan, is making some major changes and obviously going towards that zero emissions layout to their formula of vehicles. Now, they have promised that that will happen by the year 2040, where they will have a full lineup of vehicles that are BEVs, battery electric vehicles, starting off not only obviously in the United States, but also bringing electrified vehicles here in Japan. Honda really wants to stress and flex their muscle with this Prologue. So what I want to find out is, if you're looking for that sort of mid-size two-row crossover SUV that has that Honda reliability, is this the vehicle to go with? Let's go ahead, let's dive in and find out. Right off the bat, the style. Of course, it's not only about how they design the vehicle overall, but also that coefficient of drag. So at the front of the business, you're going to notice that LED lighting, LED headlights. Love the way they have the daytime running lamps. We work our way down, you are going to also have LED fog lamps, and I love that they have a functional air curtain within that gloss black area. And to be honest with you, the way that it's sitting here at the show, this bright white with the black accents really pops nicely. Along the bottom lip, you'll notice the sprinkling of metallic silver. You do have functionality on the lower portion here, because remember, we do have that Ultium battery pack. That is that battery pack that they're working with General Motors. It is liquid cooled, so that's why we have that functionality. And then of course, the historic Honda badge. So many decades of history with awesome vehicles, forward-facing camera, and they kept it simple with the gloss black area. Let me know how you feel about this. I really think it looks clean, and it definitely falls in nicely with their other Honda vehicles. Now, as we rise up, they did a great job on the hood, a nice U-shaped indentation. Love the way it's got that pearlescent white paint job. We come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So we gotta kind of work our way around here at the Tokyo Auto Show. You'll notice that we have these really classic style, but with a modern twist. Machined aluminum, gloss black. This is a 21-inch wheel, and I like the way they did the machined aluminum accents around the outer edge. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of the tire? 275 on the width, 45 series sidewall. Now, the interesting thing is that this will be available front-wheel drive, but also all-wheel drive with twin motors. And then, of course, they're really working on getting that range to be above and near that 300-mile mark that many people are looking for. On this particular trim, you do have the gloss black around the fender openings. Let me know how you feel about the gloss black, if you rather have that body colored with the beautiful, like I said, that crystal white pearl color. Now, as we rise up and we come down the side, you're gonna have gloss black on the mirror caps with your LED turn signals, gloss black along the bottom portion, and then also on the door handle. Now, the wonderful thing is that we can open up the door here at the show, and you could see the two-tone interior that we have going on. I like the black with that darker tan, almost looks like a baseball glove material. I am gonna have to zonk, though, the gloss black around the controls for the windows. That's gonna get a ton of fingerprints. And then another thing you'll notice, like we pointed out before, that's all General Motors. So you're gonna have that 11-inch infotainment system. You got your dual climate control taken right from the GM parts bin. I think my favorite thing, though, is the center console, because you have your wireless chargers, and you could put two next to one another, your cup holders, and then there's a nice little storage for a bag of apples down there. So if you have a 5-pound bag of apples, nice touch. But I think what they did great are the seats with the nice soft touch material, the two-tone, full power electric for the passenger and the driver on this top trim, which is really nice. And you have that digital gauge cluster as well. As we continue down the side, you do have nice flush roof rails, which, remember, on an EV is a challenge, because we don't want a lot of drag, because that's gonna cut down on our range overall. And you have a ginormous glass panoramic roof. Now, when it comes to the passenger seating, same story. You got that two-tone material. I like the way there's pockets in the back there. You could get a couple abacuses, maybe a mirror or two. And you'll notice on the bottom you have 2 USB-Cs and a home power source and a place for 4 Japanese Twinkies. Seating just like up front, the nice two-tone material, looking fantastic. And then when we swing it around back, we kind of have to work a little here, but I'm gonna get out of the way so I can get my shadow off the vehicle. Love the way that they spelled the Honda name out. It really kind of shows that classic touch. Even though this is a very modern-esque vehicle, you are gonna have that nice long roof spoiler. I think one of the zonks I have is the wiper. That is something that needs to go. I would like to see the wiper disappear. In the lower corner here, of course, you got your E-badge. This one has the twin motor setup, but like I said, you will be able to get one motor, single motor, or twin motor on this setup. Working our way down, you do have the Prologue Elite. That is your top trim. And I'm really digging seeing it in white. If you remember, we had that Shore teal color. We were at the studios to bring that special touch. Nice to see it with that color, but also nice to see it in this beautiful pearl white. The lower portion they did very well, just like up front, very cohesive design, the gloss black, the metallic silver, and the way that they kind of did this little, sort of like a skid plate design to the lower bumper, just gives it a little extra special touch. And I think that's the one thing about this vehicle, is that as you look around the touches and the accents of it, they really try to bring more character and more of that overall Honda style, which remember, when you're looking at the cooperation with General Motors, that's one of those things. But when you think about Prologue, that's going to be the Honda side of things. Obviously, when we say Acura, we're going to be looking forward to the ZDX, and especially that high-performance ZDX Type S, which is going to have well over 500 horsepower, and of course, that low 0 to 60 time. But when it comes to something like this, with it being a setup, and let's see if we can open up the back here. I wonder if it's unlocked. No, it is not unlocked. We tried, but it's one of those things that you're gonna have that usable versatility. You're also gonna have that usable space. Now, being here at the Tokyo Auto Show, a lot of electrification going on, even to the point where we have these Honda e-bikes. So we talked about in the States, the Moto Compacto, going back to that original 1980s little scooter that's almost about the size of a briefcase. It's not just about taking it to crossover SUV electrification, but also doing many modes of travel and getting from A to B, especially in places like Tokyo, where there's a lot of people, a lot of space, and you just see this awesome show. From the side of the vehicle, you'll notice the dimensions. Like I said, this really fits in nicely with an overall, sort of like an in-between a compact and a mid-size crossover SUV. Let's go back to the front and kind of see if we could get on the driver's side of things. So we're gonna swing it around, and I'm gonna open up the door for you on the driver's side. So let's see if it unlocks. Yes. So there we have our digital gauge cluster. You have, of course, your direct drive transmission control on the right-hand side of the steering wheel. I like the nice thick rim steering wheel, the white contrast stitching. And then I'm telling you, let me know in the comment section how you feel about the two-tone, because I really think the two-tone brings the interior alive, especially with that large center console area there. Nice armrest with the stitch work, your cup holders, everything laid out. And that's what, remember, Honda really wants to stress, is that easy use, that easy flexibility of being able to hop in and know exactly where everything is and what you need to do to drive. But these are the things that, as we go forward, a lot of brands are already saying 2025 they want to go to full electrification. Some brands are saying 2030. I actually applaud Honda for making the decision to go through this process a little bit slower. Like I said, model year 2040 is when they are hoping that their whole lineup will be electrified, but it's nice to see what they're doing with the Prologue, where they're taking the direction with single motor, dual motor, and then of course, battery length. I think where we're gonna see the big happy number is when brands can get us closer to that 400-mile range. 500-mile range would be the icing on top of the cake. That's really, I think, where more people will gravitate towards getting into an electric vehicle. But very interesting to think that General Motors, working with Honda, a lot of times you don't hear about that reference, with this Prologue, and of course also with the Acura ZDX. But let me know what you think. Nice to kind of show off the Prologue here in Japan at the Tokyo Auto Show in a different color than that shoreline blue color, that greenish color that we brought. Nice to have it in white. Let me know in the comment section if you're really digging this Prologue or if you're gonna pass. I'm very curious to see what you have to say about it, but if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raity's Rise family. Of course, none of this would be possible if it wasn't for Lori working through the jet lag, making that camera work so magical here on the show floor. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.